that it would be a contrivance of the story, and not because they, had opposing goals or anything. The Last Inquisitor. Alright, so if we've made it back to the court, this is certainly the final court segment. And I think we will be able to finish it up by Thursday. We won't finish it tonight, because we've only got another hour. The witch is Phoenix. I agree. That seems the most likely. All the clues were there. He was there at the beginning. All you gotta do is go back to the... No, actually, no, he wasn't. He was baking bread for 5 years in a bakery in the beginning, so I guess that doesn't really help. Court is now once again in session. However, I must say I'm quite surprised at this recent turn of events. To see Miss Kira at the witness stand once again. Frankly, I cannot believe my eyes. You were most certainly sent to the flames as a witch. You were incinerated, and as we looked up in the Grand Grimoire, incinerate means to burn. That's right, I was there, I saw it, she most certainly was. Then how? How is she still alive? Is it because she's a witch? Can witches not die? No, she must have used Demir and vanished just in time. I say send her straight to the fire. We'll do it ourselves if we have to. Enough. A witch must be in possession of a Talea Magica in order to use magic. I hate to disappoint you all, but do you see such a thing on her person? I think not. But she must have... That girl must have used Demir. Surely you can see that, High Inquisitor. Demir is a spell able to make someone disappear from sight. It cannot make one vanish entirely. And besides... An investigation conducted by the Knights of the Inquisition has concluded that this girl is not capable of using magic. When did that investigation take place? And how did they conclude that? Give me all of your details, lady. Listen well, Miss Kira. Your existence alone jeopardizes the very peace of Labyrinthia, yet given the current situation, I'm going to allow this. It is now imperative that you testify to this court regarding what you saw. Immediately. Objection! That will not be necessary. What? This girl has already been convicted and tried as a witch in a previous trial. What good could come of her testimony? Objection! But she was found hiding at the crime scene. I'd say that makes her a very important witness. A witness whose testimony we cannot choose to ignore. High Inquisitor Darklaw, I'm afraid your objection is overruled. You wish to proceed then? Very well. Let us see just how much of her story this girl is willing to tell the court, shall we? There's no doubt about it. Ms. Kira must have escaped through the passage leading under the Chamber of Fire. Although... From the looks of it, the judge doesn't have a clue that escape route even exists. I wish he'd hurry up and get the hint. I'm dying to take this helmet off already. The top of my head really itches. Sorry, Maya. Take that thing off now and we're as good as done. Just hang in there a little while longer. Ah. Very well. Witness, you may begin your testimony. Explain to the court how you are standing here in court today, and why you were hiding at the crime scene. Yes, we established that the Great Witch doesn't need the Talea, but I don't think they're accusing her of being Bezella. We might end up accusing her of that, but I don't think we will. I am not familiar with this Kira you keep talking about. I came from the Eldwitch Woods. Well, this is a twist. Amnesia, you say? I came to this town to summon forth the fire dragon and kill the storyteller. As it rained, I waited near the bell tower next to the vigilantes for my chance. I was only there to carry out my orders. I don't know anything else outside of that. You came here to Kill the storyteller? Yes, that was my task.
Objection!
Just one witness. What is this, easy mode? Keep in mind, this girl was not the one who summoned the fire dragon in the end. That was the accused. As I warned you earlier, there is nothing to be gained from this witch's testimony.
Objection!
Slam. Now hold on, she was still present at the scene of the crime with the intent to murder the storyteller. The defense insists we be permitted to continue with our cross-examination on those grounds. Darklaw's really trying to weasel her way out of this cross-examination. That means there has to be something there. With a capital has. I must admit, I too am extremely interested in hearing what this witness has to say. Defender, you may begin your interrogation.
Hold it!
You say you're not familiar with the name Kira? Yes, I've never heard it before. But I say, that is your name, young lady. Honestly, what witchery is this? Witchery? This is Labyrinthia! I have no name. I am simply a resident of the Eldwitch Woods. Nothing more. Eldwitch Woods? The very same woods said to house the souls of the witches sent to the flames? Are you telling me they really exist? No matter how you look at her, the Kira up on that witness stand doesn't look like much of a soul to me. And Maya would know. The girl has lost all memory of ever being a flower seller. That is all. If that's the case, then I wonder if she even remembers our run-in back at the marketplace. Say, Miss Kira, do you happen to remember me at all? No, I do not know you. I first saw you just now at the bell tower.
Hold it!
Did you just say fire dragon? Yes, it was all a part of my orders. I was told to come here this evening and wait for the right moment when the storyteller would appear before the people. Only then was I supposed to shout out the incantation as loudly as possible. O great beast from the inferno, heed my call, Grandworm. I believe this bears repeating. The girl does not possess a scepter. It is impossible for her to summon any sort of magical dragon. Yes, quite right, High Inquisitor. Then why are you hiding underneath the bench, Your Honor? Yes, well, it is as I thought then. She could not have cast the spell. I believe I have made it perfectly clear. This girl is not the Great Witch Bezella. Naturally, the Great Witch is. That girl there, Espella Cantabella. There can be no other.
Hold it!
Hold it right there, Ms. Kira. You snuck right past the vigilantes? Yes, that's right. My orders at the time were to... The girl is a witch. Therefore, something as simple as vanishing from sight is child's play. Isn't that right, witness? That's a leading question. Objection. Yes, that is correct. Aha! I remember now. Just a few days ago, this girl used that very vanishing spell. Demure, if memory serves. Well, what are you gawking at, witness? Continue with your testimony. What was that just now? I could have sworn I just saw Kira's face turn even paler than normal.
Hold it!
Ms. Kira, who exactly gave you your orders? I cannot say. And why is that? I am not to disclose the identity of the one who has given me my orders. That, in itself, is an order. How convenient. I am only supposed to carry out my orders, nothing more. I do not know anything else. And besides, There is nothing more that I can really do. Nothing more she can do. But hold on just a minute. Surely you are capable of using magic. You are a witch, are you not? I am not a witch. What did you just say? I cannot use magic. She can't use magic. This girl is a witch. Every person in this courtroom knows that, as a matter of fact. There can be nary a doubt. Doesn't look like there's much to work with. Even though she just finished explaining everything, I still don't fully understand. Oh man, Nick, you don't think Kira is actually some sort of crazy magical zombie, do you? Maya, you went through the same thing as Kira. Did you become a magical zombie? Oh yeah, I guess not, huh? Luke and I couldn't believe it was Kira when we ran into her in the marketplace. I mean, we thought for sure she was a goner back at the trial. I don't think I'm far off, though. It looks like she doesn't remember a thing. It's almost like another person entirely. But what if that's just it, Maya? What if the Kira right here, right now, is the real Kira and the old Kira wasn't? The real Kira, huh? Yeah, and that's why I think I'm bound to find something useful in her testimony. We can do this, Nick. I hope you're ready to slam on some desks because we're going to do some serious pressing here. I already did. I guess that means I have to press again because I don't have any evidence that's going to prove anything that she said incorrect. Oh, well, there's this, I guess. The bell tower was guarded and there were no trespassers. I'm going to save. Rather inconvenient that they did not refill the credibility, as you had asked. Is it going to be this? I guess.
Objection.
Why? Why wasn't that it? That does contradict it. We said that she can't turn invisible. Ooh. Despicable witch, into the flames with you. I wonder if I said restart trial, would they restart me with 5 health? I guess. Okay, we're at the testimony. Yes.
Hold it.
So we pressed on this. I'm just gonna press everything again to see if anything in here changes. Oops.
Hold it. Hold it.
Okay, yeah, I guess she already said she wasn't. This is why we were supposed to press. There's something not right about this testimony. It's just a hunch, but what should I do? Press further. Ms. Kira, I have one simple question for you. You stated earlier in your testimony that you snuck past the vigilantes guarding the bell tower and went right inside. Tell me, did you use the spell Demir to get by them? That must certainly be the case. Had she not, she would surely have been spotted.
Objection.
But remember what she let slip just a moment or two ago. She denied being a witch and stated she cannot use magic. Therefore, if that's true, then you, Ms. Kira, would not have been able to use Demir at all.
Objection.
What a ridiculous argument, is it? How else would this girl have been able to walk right into the bell tower unnoticed by the guards? Explain that.
Objection.
I have a better idea. How about we have the witness herself explain it to you? Tell him, Hajime. What do you say, Miss Kira? I am not a witch. And I cannot use magic. So then, exactly how were you able to ascend the bell tower without being noticed? Witness, amend your testimony this instant. Okay. What's going on? There's got to be another way she got into the bell tower unseen, but other than magic, I have no idea what that could be.
Hold it.
Robe of invisibility. Wait just a second. Did you just say robe of invisibility? Yes, that is correct. Optic camouflage. Otacon, can I get one of those? Surely you don't mean a robe that can make one vanish from sight when worn? Yes, that is correct. What? They gave me a choice between that and a bandana of infinite ammo. Ms. Kira, do you have that robe on you right now? I don't have it. Huh? That is... They gave her a flower back. I dropped it back at the bell tower. What the heck was that? Why was Kira looking over at Darklaw when she spoke just now? Are you listening to this farce, my lord? Surely you do not give... They've said surely like 8 times in the past 10 minutes. Because I've been resisting every time to just do the lazy joke from Airplane. I am serious and don't call me Shirley. Surely you do not give any credence to this witness's testimony. Especially to this preposterous notion of a robe of invisibility. Indeed. I must say, witness, that is quite an unbelievable story.
Objection.
I don't think it's that crazy, Your Honor. If she had it, she'd... Right? Yeah. There's little point to telling someone that you can see, are you wearing a robe of invisibility right now? If something like magic can exist, the chances of a robe of invisibility being real are pretty high, wouldn't you say?
Objection.
If such is the case. Then how about you put your evidence where your mouth is? Prove that this robe of invisibility exists. I'll do better than prove it. I'll prove it, I guess. What say you, defender? Can you prove to the court that the robe of invisibility does, in fact, exist? I mean, we found a robe. That's not really proof, though, is it? Should I... Usually you don't lose... I don't remember the circumstances of us finding this robe. We'll present it. Sure, why not? The defense believes it has evidence to prove the robe's existence. Why am I not surprised? A ridiculous defender only begets ridiculous arguments. I've got to admit, an invisible robe does seem pretty far-fetched, even for Labyrinthia. But if there's even the slightest possibility this evidence is right, then I've got to try it. Very well. Defender, please show the court this evidence. Show us the piece of evidence that proves the existence of this robe. Is it this robe? There was, in fact, a robe dropped and left at the crime scene tonight. A robe? Ms. Kira, that robe of invisibility that you mentioned earlier wouldn't happen to be this one right here, would it?
Objection!
How ludicrous you are trying to tell the court that is the robe of invisibility. If it's really a robe of invisibility, then how is it that we can see it right now, dirty white spots and all? Arg! Well, she's kind of got a point there. Oh, hey. What if the robe actually disappears when you wear it? Give it here, Nick. Watch and wonder as Maya the Magnificent disappears before your very eyes. So, are you amazed yet? You have to say Zvari. That's the magic word. Yeah, I'm amazed at how totally ridiculous you look in that. Wrecked. What gives? This thing must be busted or something. I didn't disappear at all. Well, that's not it. Sorry, what you got, yo? No. Tonight, at the bell tower, I was wearing that robe. What did you say? I don't know. But why doesn't it work now? Order, I said order. But how is that possible? The robe did not disappear at all just now. That's because of the white powder on it. It's usually not that dirty. Oh, you mean these spots here? Please don't tell me. Oh yeah, Patty unloaded an entire bag of flour onto those nights, remember? Not to mention it was still raining when we were up there. The flour must have gotten nice and wet, so it stained the robe. Say, what if we try washing the flour off? Ah! There is a small water fountain at the edge of the square. Head there right now and wash the robe so we can get to the bottom of this. Quickly now. This shouldn't be too hard, but it will be. It'll be a puzzle. Take notes like, this is how you do the laundry. All you have to do is throw the robe into the water, like so. Wait, what? So, do you see anything, Maya? That's just it. I don't see a thing. It's disappeared. What? I frantically took a close look at the water in the fountain, but the robe had actually vanished without a trace right there inside the fountain. Defender. What is the meaning of this? How could you have lost such a vital piece of evidence? Oopsie. Your Honor, it wasn't on purpose. Trust me, I wish I knew how it happened. I can't believe it. The robe actually disappeared from sight. I don't quite know what you're talking about. I can still see the robe just fine. Huh? Look, it's right here, see? No, Miss Kira, I really don't see, because there's nothing to see. Is that how it works? Putting the robe on makes you disappear completely from sight. But from the looks of it, only Kira is able to actually see the robe itself. It is not just me. It's all inhabitants of the Eldritch Woods. All of us can see the robe. Our village lies deep within the recesses of the forest, in a world much different from this one. That's where I live. As long as we obey the law of the land, we are allowed to live there. I knew it. There's definitely something different about Kira compared to the rest of the townspeople here. For the time being, seeing as only the witness can see the robe, we will cover it in flour again for the sake of visibility. Okay. Sure. I don't know why, but okay. Plus, we happen to have flour. We had the courtroom flour bin. The designated courtroom flour bin. Still one tiny thing bothering me. Ms. Kira, your robe was found on the middle floor of the bell tower, the same floor where we found my client. However, you were hiding on the uppermost level of the bell tower. You testified a little while ago that you dropped your robe, but I have to wonder, what exactly were you doing there on that top floor? It would seem there is still much we must ask this witness. What say you, High Inquisitor Darklaw? 'Tis the Inquisition's duty to follow my lord's decision on such matters. I have no objections. Very well. Witness, you are hereby ordered to continue with your testimony. Tell us what happened between your sneaking up to the top floor of the bell tower and tonight's most terrible crime. Yes, okay. That is a good point. It could have been a fountain of invisibility. I was waiting on the middle floor of the tower. I started to turn around, but I was too late. They attacked me from behind. There was nothing I could do. My arm was restrained, and the attacker covered my mouth. The vigilantes? As I struggled to get away, I think I managed to pull something off of my attacker. That's when I lost consciousness. What happened then? I woke up to find myself next to the bell on the top floor of the tower. What? What? I am incredibly confused. Someone attacked you while you're... I mean, I guess that's going to be Darklaw? Darklaw was up... So there were 3 people up in the tower? God. Fine. That is correct. But who? They attacked me from behind, so I couldn't see who it was. So you were unconscious the entire time after that. That's why I was unable to complete my mission. Unconsciousness is no excuse for that. Come on. Even if I hadn't been unconscious, I couldn't have done anything trapped high up in the belfry like that. I wonder if that weird contraption we found there was used to move Kira up to the belfry. At least I can't see any other way she could have got up there. You heard the witness. She was locked up in the belfry of the tower. In other words, she couldn't have had anything to do with tonight's events. Therefore, there is no need for this utterly useless interrogation.
Objection!
Not so fast. Hey, that's what the guy from Edgeworth says. Not so fast. The witness also testified that someone attacked her tonight. Defender, are you implying that this attacker could have been Bazella? I cannot say for certain, Your Honor. Regardless, the defense requests we be allowed to cross-examine this witness. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Why am I yawning so much? Request granted. Now then, Defender, you may begin your interrogation. And here's where the fun begins. Is it? Beady beep.
Hold it!
So you weren't able to catch even a glimpse of your attacker, is that right, Ms. Kira? Yes, that's right. Not even a teeny bit. They attacked me from behind after all. Did I just hear correctly? It sounds like she hesitated in answering. By the way, may I ask why you turned around, Ms. Kira? What? What do you mean? Well, it's just that you said you suddenly tried to turn around. Something must have really grabbed your attention to make you try to turn around so suddenly. I don't remember. I do think I heard a sound come from behind me. You're saying that you heard something and that's what made you turn around? Yes. But I don't have any recollection of what exactly that was. The very unsuspicious cut over to Darklaw.
Hold it!
Was the person male or female, or are you not sure? I don't remember much. But I do know the person easily overpowered me. I remember they grabbed my left wrist. I tried to scream, but they quickly covered my mouth before I had a chance. I desperately tried to break their hold, but it was no good. It sounds like the attacker managed to restrict her movements from behind.
Hold it!
What exactly did you pull off? I was still really dazed at the time, so I can't remember it very well, but when I flung my hand up, I felt myself grab a small, round object. I must have pulled it off without thinking. I felt whatever it was snap right off. So from what you're saying, it sounds like this could have been something that was on your attacker's person. I think so. I can still feel it even now. It felt like I'd just snapped a piece of rope or something. I really wonder what that could have been. I think I would recognize the shape if I saw it. If only we had something that could trigger her memory, then all we'd have to do is present it. Okay. I will do that. Should you press on this too? Why not? You say you lost consciousness. Did you manage to take a picture afterwards? Yes, in fact, it actually felt a lot like magic. It was the first time I had ever experienced a magic spell quite like that. As I thought there was magic at play here, must I remind you that the Great Witch Bezella can use any and all magic with a snap of her fingers while wearing the Infinity Gauntlet? She got us. Indeed, such a spell does in fact exist. It was, oh blast, what was it called again? Don't sweat it, Your Honor, just leave it to me and the trusty old Grand Grimoire. Could Kira's attacker have actually been a witch? Doesn't look like magic was used to knock her out, huh? Anyway. Looks like Kira is telling the truth. Avoiding making eye contact, not to mention she seems extremely hesitant. No doubt about it, she's trying to keep something big from getting out. Okay. Do I just present the pendant here?
Objection!
Ms. Kira, you stated that you felt yourself snap something off of your attacker. Would that thing by any chance be this right here? That's it! I recognize that shape. That was the object I grabbed. But that's the accused's pendant, is it not? Not quite, Your Honor. There are actually two pendants like this. The one you see here is the counterpart to Miss Cantabella's pendant. Now that you mention it, I remember the necklace was actually very tough. It really didn't rip right off so easily. So I struggled against it, tugging and pulling at it for a bit. And I must have scratched their neck in the process, and you saw her do the... She actually... Darklaw was rubbing her neck. Wait a second. You mean you scratched your attacker's neck? I think so, but I don't know for sure. Nick, in that case, that means the dark stuff on the necklace could be... Yeah, it could be the attacker's blood. What material? Who cares? Magic. As the court can clearly see, there are still traces of blood left on the necklace itself. However, take one good look at my client and you'll notice there are no visible scars or cuts of any kind around her neck, which Phoenix stated without checking her first. Ergo, there is no way Ms. Cantabella could be Ms. Kira's attacker.
Objection!
Nice try, Defender, but I must stop you right there. Witches have healing magic. Oh, is that actually it? The Great Witch can use any spell in existence. She could have easily healed such a wound in the blink of an eye. Well, fine. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I already miss Inquisitor Barnum. Man, we really can't catch a break on this one, huh, Nick? Let us resume the interrogation. Witness, continue with your testimony. As I struggle to get away... Okay. So we found out some stuff, but we're right back here into the same testimony. So I guess we'll press here.
Hold it!
Grab my left wrist. Something about it is a tiny bit different from what we've heard so far. I'll press on everything else first. It's pendant here, is that correct? Yes, I think that's the one. Definitely a trace of blood. Curious cycle, she yanked this pendant. Remember, defendant, we're talking about the Great Witch here. More than possible, she may have used magic to heal any wound that may have appeared on her person. Therefore, I suggest you abandon the idea that this somehow removes all suspicion from the accused. Sheesh. We could really use some decisive ammo right about now, huh? I don't think so. This pendant is all the decisive ammo we need. We just have to think. Something about this pendant that I can present as evidence. They're really making it sound like I need to present the pendant. Oops. Not gonna present the pendant there. So the fact that they're really hinting present the pendant, this is the only place where I would put it, with the idea being saying that if her arm was restrained, that she couldn't have torn the pendant off?
Objection!
Yes. Something a little strange about your testimony just now. Even though, like, is this a poor translation? Did she say arms? Like, both of her arms were... Because she didn't say that in her testimony. You stated that you were attacked from behind and that the attacker grabbed you by the wrist, correct? Yes, that's right. Assuming that was in fact the case, then I'd say no matter how much you struggled, there's no way you would have been able to yank off this pendant, don't you think? Oh. The strap on this pendant is too short. There's no way you could have reached behind you and managed to pull it off. Is that a good point? It's the 29th. Should you still go for burgers? Sure. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. And welcome, Savine. The only way you would have been able to yank this pendant off of your attacker is if they were standing directly in front of you. What the frig are you talking about, Phoenix? What the hell is he talking about? How? I don't see how that makes a difference. I don't see how that makes any difference whatsoever. Whether they were in front of her or behind her. Either way.
Objection.
The witness was the victim of a physical attack. It's only natural that she'd be a bit confused on some of the details.
Objection.
Hi, Inquisitor. I wouldn't exactly call mistaking the location of your attacker being a bit confused. I'd call it more a barefaced lie. Well, now, Defender, I see you are as pathetically short-sighted as ever. Your argument is only valid assuming that the girl here actually saw her attacker. If she was not able to see this person, well, I'd say it'd make no difference where they were standing. Then that means the attacker was also wearing one of these robes? That is impossible, my lord. As the witness already stated earlier, only residents of the Eldwitch Woods are able to see the robes. In short, the attacker must have been a witch and must have wait, what do you mean in short? You're skipping over the possibility that the attacker was someone from one of the Eldwitch Woods. I mean, from the Eldwitch Woods, right? Right? Must have been a witch and disappeared from sight with the use of magic. There's one more thing proving the attacker to be a witch. And just what might that be? The witness has stated that she lost consciousness. If you take a look in the Grand Grimoire, you will notice a spell called Feign-Fall. Witness, allow me to ask you, did you hear the incantation of this spell? Allow me to amend my testimony. Somebody said Feign-Fall, and then I went unconscious. Say what? They said that her arm was restrained, like singular. Here it is. Feign-Fall causes all who hear the incantation to lose consciousness. Then how did someone write it down? Oh. They wrote it down because somebody cast the spell and the person lost consciousness, and then they said, I better write this down. So they wrote it down while they were unconscious. It makes sense. We must not forget the Great Witch can use any and all magic at will. Amend your testimony to reflect this important piece of information. Yes, right away. Wouldn't the caster themselves also hear it? This is a good point. That just proves that the Great Witch Bazella is deaf. Deaf means unable to hear. But still, I'm not about to give up just yet. I'll keep on going until we get to the bottom of who this attacker really is. Now then, let us continue with the interrogation.
Hold it!
You heard the incantation. Are you absolutely sure about that? Yes, there's no mistaking it. The attacker used magic to vanish from sight, went up the stairs, and then rendered the witness unconscious, also with magic. Clearly, this must be the work of none other than the OP Great Witch Bezella. Riot, please. It is no mere coincidence that the attacker was able to use such spells. This is certainly no ordinary witch. Was the caster unaffected by the circle of fire? No, she was outside of it. Because this is the person who used that fire spell. And they weren't standing in the... It's a very small circle that it creates. Afterwards, the witness's attacker carried her off. Naturally, that would require the use of both hands, one would think. Both hands. High Inquisitor? In other words, the witch would not have been able to hold a Telea Magica. Right, and the only witch that doesn't need a scepter like that is Bezella. And the other thing, they've said that people from the woods can see the cloak. They haven't specifically said that you can see invisible, like, I don't know if that just means that they haven't made that clear. Does it mean that if someone wears the cloak that people from Eldwitch Woods can still see the person, or no? They can see the robe. I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to assume one way or the other. Yes. Oh, okay. No, you go unconscious the second it happens. You don't have time to struggle. But where do they want me to present it? Which one of these does it actually contradict? As I struggle to get away, I guess it's here.
Hold it.
Whoops. It makes sense to me that you would present it here, but I'm starting to think maybe you actually present it here. Let me just check this again. You heard the incantation. You're sure about it? There's no mistaking it. Whenever he says there's no mistaking it, that always means this is the one that you present the evidence on.
Objection.
Good. I got it. Flame retardant, deaf, probably green, witch. Ms. Kira, I have watched you at that witness stand this entire trial, desperately trying to keep something hidden from the rest of the court. I wonder if you're familiar with the saying, a lie begets more lies. It means multiple lies are bound to unravel and leave your story with more holes than Swiss cheese. Get to the point, defender. According to the Grand Grimoire, Fainfall causes a person to lose all consciousness. All of it, really. It's written here in black and white. Its effect takes hold the second the incantation is heard. Ms. Kira, you testified as follows. You heard the incantation for Fainfall and immediately became aware of the presence of your attacker. You then put up a fight. But if you really did hear that incantation, there's no way you would have been able to yank that pendant from your assailant. Ah! Order! What is the meaning of this? The meaning is that Ms. Kira didn't actually hear the incantation like she claimed she did. But then why? Why on earth was this girl unconscious? Kira was definitely knocked out by whoever attacked her, or she lied about that too? She could be lying about the whole thing. Come on, Phoenix. And when she woke up, she found herself on the top floor of the bell tower. It's possible Ms. Kira was rendered unconscious by... The answer here is obvious. Something other than magic must have knocked her out.
Objection!
And what, may I ask, makes you so certain of that? Is it not possible that another spell could have been used?
Objection!
That's just not possible. You, of all people, should know that. Really? What? Miss Kira's claim that she heard someone say the incantation is completely false. Even so, that wouldn't be too much of a problem if she actually had heard an incantation. That's right. However, going by her testimony, that can't have been the case. The only spell capable of making someone lose consciousness is Feign-Fall. Why? How do you know that? Isn't that right, High Inquisitor Darkwall? Why are you asking her? I'm lost. Phoenix, you've lost me. Step on the brakes. Wait for me to catch up. Are you claiming there's another way besides magic that could have been used to render Ms. Kira unconscious? Take that! Justice Hammer number 2. There's only one other thing that crossed my mind. Sleeping medicine? What? Ms. Kira stated that the attacker covered her mouth before she could scream. In doing that, the attacker was able to administer a potent sleep medicine, thus putting Ms. Kira out like a light. Does that exist? I guess we do have an alchemist. Indeed, that does make sense. There's a delayed blast fireball. Why can't there be a delayed blast Feign-Fall? I agree. Therefore, Your Honor, the attacker did not necessarily have to be Bizella. I mean, why would an all-powerful being capable of commanding any and all magic need to resort to drugging someone?
Objection!
Hold it right there, Defender. They managed to sneak past the guards and made their way up into the bell tower. Clearly, they must have used magic to appear invisible.
Objection!
You don't need magic to make yourself disappear, High Inquisitor. Throw this on and getting past those guards at the tower is a piece of cake. The robe of invisibility. But, despite all that, there's still one glaring problem. Ms. Kira. Yes. You admitted to the court earlier that you were attacked from the front, correct? If that's the case, then there's only one possible conclusion we can draw. You, Ms. Kira, were entirely capable of seeing your attacker's face. Why is that? It's simple. You even said it yourself. Only residents of the Eldritch Woods are able to see this robe. That means, Ms. Kira, there is a piece of this puzzle only you could possibly know. Alright, so that would seem to suggest that if the invisibility robe is on, people from Eldritch Woods can completely still see the person as well as the robe. Only you can tell us the identity of the person who entered the bell tower and attacked you that night. Maybe the hood was over their face. If it's not invisible, that doesn't mean that you can see through it. In fact, it means the opposite. Okay. I can't tell you. No matter what happens, I just can't tell you no matter what. You see, everyone, this witness has been covering up for someone from the very start of this trial. What? But luckily for us, we won't be needing any more of Miss Kira's testimony. Because the answer is staring us right in the face. I'm speaking, of course, about the true identity of Ms. Kira's attacker. All the clues so far point to this one person. Defender, I take it you are prepared to prove such a serious accusation? I am. Alright. Looks like it all comes down to this. Now we'll finally see who's been pulling the strings this whole time. Bang that gavel. Very well. Defender, tell the court... On Thursday we'll find out. No, we'll go a little bit further. Who was the one responsible for attacking the witness and locking her up on the top floor of the bell tower? It was the cat. Just look at those guilty eyes.
Take that!
The answer is obvious, Your Honor. High Inquisitor Darklaw. I don't know why Phoenix suspects her, though. Oh, there's that, too. Yeah, hold on. Fulton Face raises an absolutely fantastic point. The whole point of the first trial is that we prove that she can't see without her glasses on. She lost her glasses because they were invisible? I forget what. No, she dropped them in the milk. She dropped them in the goat's milk. While invisible... Man, whoa. I did not need to remember that crazy logic error. She turned the glass... She was invisible. Her glasses were invisible. She could see fine. She dropped the glasses, and then because she wasn't wearing the invisible glasses anymore, she couldn't see. We spent so much time. I had finally forgotten that. I had finally managed to be at peace. And now that information is back to torture me. That's right. Are we going to bring up at all the fact that she is blind? Practically. What? It's walk rad backwards. Could be. It is. Inconceivable. There's no way. I must say, Defender, my neck hurts. Don't look at it. Your courage is impressive, however reckless you may be. Accusing a High Inquisitor is no small feat, I assure you. However, with serious accusations come serious consequences. One small misstep and I will personally see that you never set foot in this courtroom ever again. Mark my words, Defender. I understand. My, how confident. Let us see if that confidence of yours is well justified. Okay, so here we will save and finish. We're done for today. We will resume on Thursday. Almost, probably, certainly concluding. Oh, she could be. Odd Garrett is correct. She is currently wearing the invisible glasses. This makes a lot more sense now. Loophole closed.